Okay, look, so we're recording now. Welcome, everybody. It's been an incredible launch, and just somebody let me know. Andy, can you just let me know that you can hear me loud and clear, if that's okay?
I can hear you loud and clear, Simon. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So, this session actually coincides with another session that we do about crypto. So, the people that are listening on that feed, if you want to come and join the Invest AI crowd on Telegram, that would be great. I've dropped the link in the chat over there, so please do not come off silent. If you want to speak, put your hand up. Obviously, other than core team members, please do chat away. One thing I am going to say is, if you are wanting information from me, please, like, don't send me a DM saying, "Oh, can you let me know this?" or "What happened then?" or when's this going to happen? Or the classic example, when CMC, when we announce that it's happened. Okay, so
When marketing, that's another one that's getting on the nerves as well.
what's getting asked?
When marketing,
Yeah, well, when
it's
marketing happening, bro, right? Just be patient, bro, because if I drop every single thing, like it it annoys me that there are, and I get it, right? I do get it that there are people that just want me to drop everything in one go, right? We drop loads of news, big announcements, everything, chart goes smashing up, everybody sells, project dead, right? That's not how you run a project, okay? And I did want to talk a little bit about how the launch went, and I will be speaking to some of the issues that some people have faced. So, the biggest issue we faced was Uniswap being, literally, their front end UI went down for about 20 minutes. I don't believe it went down everywhere, but whether it was an issue that they had with their website, I don't know, right? But it just was a horrendous nightmare that their front end went down for about 20 minutes. You could still buy through various routes, and if you knew what you were doing, but bearing in mind, a lot of our community are people that we told them how to use Uniswap, educated them how to do that, they were ready, and loads of people went, "Oh, I can't buy," right? And a load of them went, "Well, I'm not buying, when it's gone up 15 times already." So I know quite a lot of those have come back and subsequently bought. Um, as was announced prior to the launch, and it was clearly said, there was a sniper tax. Okay, so courtesy of Chain Factory and their amazing tools, we had a sniper tax on people who tried to snipe our launch. And that means, if you're not, there might be people that are listening that don't quite understand how snipers work. There are bots out there where people can, as soon as a token launches, they press buy, and they set, for example, 300%, so 3x, and the bot does the work for them. So they put in a couple of $100, and then, on a launch you might set it at 10x, right? So you put $300 in, and the bot will sell it when you've got $3,000 worth. Now, that is, as far as I'm concerned, shady, right? I know it's the way of the world. You are seeing genuine projects getting killed, though, by snipers, because as soon as we add liquidity to the project, the snipers come in, and let's say somebody adds $100 in as a sniper. Now, they don't mind paying a tax as a sniper, because they're expecting to get so many X's out. So if I pay 20, 30, 40, and in our case 50% tax within the first 3 minutes, yes, you got in the first 3 minute candle, but your wallet got put into sniper jail. And that then means that at any time you go and sell those tokens, you will get a 50% tax. So if you are a sniper and you're listening, I know people do this. People do this for a living. Of course there are, right? There's people that are literally sniping tons and tons of projects all day long, and making a good living. Now, well, I say a good living. What they are doing in effect is taking money out of legitimate projects, some not legitimate. So if they're taking money out of a project that ends up getting rugged, you're all rugging each other, right? You're all the people that enter into it. The project owners making money, the snipers are making money, and the poor, sort of probably the ordinary people that have got caught up in it, or their community, all lose all their money. So we had to protect ourselves against that, and I hope you understand that. That is really important. Now I want to move on to, and we will move on to, the issue that some people have said there is with the private sale. Now, equally, in a normal scenario, and this is what we had planned out originally, was we were going to have a private sale, and then we were going to launch the token on Pink Sale. Now that was a different token. That was a token that was going to be called XAIC. Okay, it was going to be very similar to what we're doing now, but it was going to be 10 trillion tokens, and anything that went on that website at the time, it was an advertised price. It was for 10 trillion tokens, and people were going to get X number of tokens. Now, a lot of people then expected, when we launched this token, the real token, the token, so I can't put a token up and then have liquidity added to it, because we will get a lot of people come in just to pump it and dump it, right? And we are not doing that. So if you don't then have a pre-sale after the private sale, we have we've spent some of that money, right? Clearly we have. We've spent a lot of time, we've spent a lot of effort, a lot of marketing, and we've spent money building the website, etc., etc., etc. So all of those private sale people need to be looked after, and we've spent a chunk of that money, right? And forget what the money that was spent. Have a look at the hundreds of hours that have gone into getting to where we are now. Okay, so looking at it and saying to ourselves, right, you've got a chunk of those people that are private sale, and a lot of them are expecting, because the norm, and I'm going to say the norm, is if you get into a good private sale and then there's a public sale and then it launches, normally you might, let's say you got 10x, right, and you put $400 in, and you could be expecting to get $4,000 out, and the majority of those people will again just dump at the launch. Now we had to make a decision to say, we don't want our project killing, right? I didn't want to be sat here 2 days after launch going, well, that was a waste of time, and well, let's say we made 5 or 10 ETH. That is a waste of time, because it's not worth it, right? We are here to build a project that we believe can end up at $100 million market cap. Why wouldn't we be, right? That is when we get to life-changing money for all of the people in the project, that the private sailors, you guys, you're all still early. Like, where are we at? 150k market cap? That's nothing, right? And if you look at the space and you look at the projects that are pushing on, they take time to develop, okay? They don't just shoot up to $100 million market cap in 5 minutes. Of course it doesn't. Well, not unless Elon turns around and says something about it, which isn't going to happen about us, unfortunately, but that's life. So we had to take a decision to say, right, we've spent some money. We've got some money left in the contract. We've got some money left, a little bit of money left in marketing. How do we make sure our private sale people are looked after, and we don't get a huge green candles, snipers, people dropping their bags and jeeting on us and then dumping it, and we end up with nothing and nobody walks away with anything, and actually Andy and I end up with a bad taste in our mouth and our names being dragged through the mud potentially, right? So when you look at this launch, what we did was we launched with a very low market cap. So we launched with 2 Ethereum in our liquidity pool, and obviously the majority of the tokens in the project, right? With the team keeping 4% and a few bits kept aside for future investors. So when we launched that at 8k market cap, we expected, I'm going to say we expected, right, and hoped to turn $1 million worth of volume through that token in the first day, in the first 24 hours. Now, had Uniswap not gone down, I think we would have probably done that, because what would have happened is, launching at such a low market cap and getting a whole ton of green candles across the board, people would have kept going, right? And because Uniswap stalled and it sort of, it went up to 16x, which isn't bad. Well, not bad, right? But we were starting from such a low base. We were starting from about a sixth of where we wanted to be, right? So, and don't get me wrong, I'm in that private sale group, right? I have a couple of small wallets in the private sale because it's the only way I can buy into my own project. So, and I was certainly not going to dump on the launch. And the one thing that I will say openly, and please take this the way it is meant, okay? Anybody who is in that private sale group, if your intention was to put a couple of $100 in, I think the most anybody was allowed to put in was 0.2 ETH, or $400 in, and then come back at the launch and dump it and leave us alone and go away, that's not the type of person we want in this project, right? And we had to protect ourselves against that, and we have done, because we locked the private sale people for 48 hours, as you know. Now, a lot of people then said, who are in the initial purchase, i.e. once a token went live and it went up to 16x, a lot of people then went, but what about the private sale people? They'll be coming in. Now, I could not put in any sort of announcement that said private sale people are still currently below the price where it is, because we'd hoped it was going to shoot, right? And we were aiming for about 2 or 3x for those private sailors, right? So that they're still sat there going, okay, I can take a bit of profit if I want, or I can hold. And that's how you want people in your project, right? Not, if, put it this way, if you launch with 8k market cap and somebody goes 20x and they've got $400 in there, they can take $8,000 in theory out of your project, or all right, without taxes and etc, right? Only takes 3 or 4 of those people to sell and your project's done again, okay? So I will apologise in some degree to the private sale people that I know they feel a little hard done by. It was out of our control that Uniswap was down, okay? We were looking for, like I say, $1 million worth of turnover in that first day, and obviously a lot more in the first hour or so. And you guys would then have been in profit, and you'd still be sat in profit now. And I still might have had some complaints, right? I might have had some people going, well, I put 0.2 ETH in, I should be like on $5,000. Well, those days are really probably gone. There are some pre-sales that you can do that. Ask yourself, if you're in that group, did you do much to bring people into the project? And this is not a criticism, right? This is a reality check. So did you bring a lot of people to the launch? And if you can turn around and say, yeah, I had 20, 30 mates who wanted to come and buy, and they couldn't buy through Uniswap, then, that's an issue, right? But I had nobody in that private sale group came to me and said, my friends are trying to buy, we're struggling, right? And the job of holders is to not just sit there and wait for profit, it is to shill the project and help bring people to it, because until we reach a critical mass, and correct me if I'm wrong, right? If you think I'm spouting shit, tell me, right? But the job is to spread the word about the project, especially if you think it's a great project, right? share it. It is a great project. You need to bring people. The more people we get to come to the project, the better you guys do. If nobody else comes to this project, we might as well all sell and go, right? Because we will not be getting to $1 million market cap, then a 10, then 100. But that's where hopefully you believe we are going to go as a project. Okay, so just a little bit of a reality check. And like I say, there is a small apology to some of the private sale people. The reward for them, so the people that are in that private sale group, you will be getting a platinum benefit. So you will be put into a group where you will get some alpha opportunities into projects before others in this community. Okay, so you will get the opportunity to earn substantial returns going forwards. You will get closer to the project founders and team, and you will be kept informed of things as we go forward. I know I've had certain people saying to me today, can we have a meeting before there's a live? No, you can't, because I can't make announcements to people in other token holding cohorts, right, so that they can sell on other people within the project, because that's not fair. Okay, and I won't be doing that. So if you're not on silent, Andy, can you find out who's not on silent for me, please? So if please mute your mic unless you're going to actually talk, please. So it's what?
It's nobody.
Oh well, I'm getting something coming through. Let me just make sure. Let me close my.
I found it.
Hang on. Let me close. Yeah, it's just yeah, it's distracting because when I get on a roll, I need to keep going. So those people in that group will get closer to the project, but rest assured, other token holders, those people will not get information that allows them to buy or sell the invest token before you guys. Okay, because I just can't do that. That's not fair, right? If they know there's news coming and it's going to be great news, they're going to be pumping their bags up, getting other people to follow, and then they know once that news breaks, bang, they'll sell. So that's not what we're about as a community. We are about bringing more people into the project, making the project grow as quickly as possible, getting onto, obviously next steps are sort of CoinGecko, CMC, others, getting our DEX tools ratings sorted, building up our Twitter following, should say X, but building our socials, build that community and get it up to establish a new floor. Okay, so I can see there are people day trading this token already. It's a little disappointing. It's a fact of life. Okay, so also just be careful. I am aware there is a fake version of me already going around contacting people, so again, be careful. There will be, just make sure admins and mods will never ever DM you first, right? So just be wary of anything that happens or comes to you or tries to tell you to do anything, okay, especially with your wallets, because I do not want this project getting damaged by somebody making a mistake and logging into something and then having the invest token stolen out of their wallet and then it getting dumped on the chart, because that hurts all of us, and I've seen that happen. Okay, so getting on to marketing, we are talking to some huge influencers. We're trying to do deals there. Those deals will get done and they will happen this week. Okay, there's several of them, and we're not going to do we're not going to do them all in a day. There will be a steady flow of new announcements and new people coming into the project. That's what you guys need to lift the floor, to keep it moving, and yes, we do expect you, please, to get involved, right? And I've said it in other projects that we've run, those that turn up and those that contribute will be the ones that get rewarded. So if, and this is a promise, okay, if you're not in that private sale group and you want to get into that platinum team, right, you can do by upping your level of engagement and your level of contribution to the project. So if I see you working and shilling and getting involved on X and working in Discord, and as the project grows, right, we get to know you more. Once you feel you've done enough, you send me a message and I'll check, and maybe you just get added into that group, okay? But those private sale people will have additional benefits. I did say, I think that yesterday, we'll time it as the 27th. Anybody in that private sale group, and I will go through the wallets because obviously I've got a list. Anybody in that private sale group who sells their tokens within the next 7 days will not get that benefit, okay? If you want to leave the project, that's fine, right? And I know there's a couple of people that are more than a little bit annoyed with me. I personally feel that those are the people that were just expecting to go, oh, right, I've now got, well, a lot of people, one of the confusing things for people was I've only received 32, 64, X number of thousand of tokens, and they're thinking I'm going to get, well, the original token we were going to run with had 10 trillion tokens, so each of those private sailors was going to get however many million, okay? But of course, the difference is that token, had it launched, the price would have been like 7 or 8 zeros and then a number, and currently we're on 2 zeros and a number, okay? So it's a huge difference. It's a trade-off between a number of tokens and a price, and you got the same value, right? Yes, you are currently down if you are a private sale investor. You're going to get the extra benefit as explained. I would love you guys to stick around and keep pushing. We couldn't afford to have a huge dump on the chart, and equally it may well have killed the project, but also we have made every effort, and I mean every effort, to get that price going up and up and up, right? And it'll get there. You will make profit. If you're here now, it's not a promise. I can't promise anything because I don't know the future, right? But our aim is, we'll aim for 10 million market cap to start with. I think that's achievable. And if anybody's in now at say 150, 200k, that's like 50x from here. And if that's not good enough for anybody, well, I don't know what is, okay? I have bought more in my own project today. I will be buying more, right? I want as much of this project as I can, and what I'm going to say next may lead you to believe that I will buy my entire project back, okay? So I know a lot of you, yes.
I'm sorry, I'm not able to raise my hand. I'm not you, but I just wanted to speak on behalf of the private sale investors who had no inkling to sell on this project, who would be long-term holders, and just address the fact that what the offer was to invest and get discounted tokens, understanding that the project changed direction in the middle of it, but there was no communication about the fact that these things were going to change, and I understand.
Well, Jane, let me just interrupt for 1 second, and I'm not being rude, but I do believe the communication was clear, and when we launched or attempted to launch on Pink Sale, it became apparent that they didn't have a community to bring to us, and that was an issue. Now, if you guys expect, I'll be careful, I'm not going to be rude, but if everybody had turned up to every single chat that I did with that, they would know what happened, okay? And I'm not publishing it in writing and recording videos and coming and giving everybody a back rub, right, without being like we had a lot of issues with Pink Sale, okay, and they took a lot of money off of us, and that then leaves us in a hole, right? And at the end of the day, everybody who contributed to that, including myself, Andy, Domingo, and the rest of the team, we all lost money. So we spent a chunk of the money that went in that private sale. I can't magic up a load of extra money to put you guys even to into a position where you'll break even at that point, right? So the only option we had at that point was to go for a fair launch. And yes, that fair launch would have flown had Uniswap not gone down. So it's, that's one of those things. We are where we are, and I do hear you, but there's unfortunately nothing I can do about it. I would love to. I will sit here and say I'll give my promise that I will look after you. If that promise isn't good enough, then it's not good enough, and I'd expect you to then please sell your tokens and leave, and and don't waste your time with this project. And I think you guys need strong leadership. You need people who make decisions. We think we are doing that, and look, I'll listen to anything else you guys want to say, right? But the fact of the matter is,
well, if you could answer a question as to why, at least when you released the locked tokens, which was not, to my knowledge, was not communicated beforehand. When you released them, at least if you could have, given the price that was, the price of the token at that time.
you did get the price of the token at the time.
No.
Well, then,
007.
you absolutely got the price at the time, 100%, because it was calculated right at that time.
No.
If that's the case, we wouldn't still be underwater.
Anyways, we should cover that.
No, listen, let me explain it, and maybe people are not understanding, and I'm not going to have a live argument with people or a debate. It was calculated correctly. It was a number of tokens divided by the contribution. It's nothing to do with the price at the time. So it's X amount of tokens, i.e. 3 million tokens, divided by all of the private sale people, and that's the price that came out. So yes, you were underwater at the time, and we all were, even me. So I don't think I'm particularly happy about that either, because I think I own more private sale than anyone. So yeah, and I'm the leader of the project, so therefore that means that I've got the benefit anyway. I presume that's what people are saying. But if you want to talk to me privately, we will do. But if you're not happy, honestly, I will look after you. But if that promise isn't good enough, then, and there's nothing I can do for you other than that, please sell your tokens and don't stay. That's fine, because I'm going to take this to, well, if I get it to 10 million market cap, that's 50x from here. And if you're down, 60-70% at the moment, and I take you to 50x from here, I think you'll be very happy. But the question is, do you think I can do that? If you don't believe that, again, then maybe this isn't, you aren't maybe a long-term holder genuinely anyway. So you contributed at a stage where the only extra benefit I can give you is the access to the team and a better position in the project in the future. And I apologise, like I say, I can't do anything other than that. If you want a full accounting, I'll show it to you, and I'll show you how Andy and I are significantly out of pocket, and we've spent a lot of our own money and time. But sometimes, and this is me getting annoyed, and I will get annoyed, sometimes I believe that people think that we are here to make you money, right? We are here to all make money for each other. And if I go and build the site and do all the marketing and build the community and everything, if that means that maybe, just maybe, I will eventually get the biggest benefit out of this. I'm putting the work in, right? If you guys can say to me genuinely you brought a load of people into the project and they're now turning around saying they're not happy, well, I'll promise I'll refund them all at the point when I can afford it. So when the project goes 50x, I'll sell a bit and I'll give you all back your 0.05, 0.1 ETH, and feel maybe then you'll look and go, oh, damn, that wasn't a good idea. But anyway, we didn't come here to argue, and we didn't come here to FUD, right? We came here to give you some great news. But I don't know whether anyone now wants to hear that.
Don't keep me in suspense any longer. I need to hear that.
Go on with it, Simon.
Well, it just, yeah, okay. Andy, how I feel about how passionate I am about making this project grow, right? And when I've got parts of what I consider to be our core team annoyed, to say the least, and getting private messages that I don't really like and have answered, and have now answered verbally. And look, people are listening, right? People can understand what I'm saying, but I'm, I genuinely, we're going to smash this, right? So yesterday, I got offered £700,000 for the project. Do you want me to buy you all out? Anybody who wants to sell me their tokens, say now. Please, because I'll buy them, right? If you want to give me your tokens, sell them now, right now, on verbally. Right, okay. So I got offered £700,000 for this project, and that's a venture capital firm that I went to see in Amsterdam. Now, that's not to say that someone turned up with a briefcase full of money and said, "Here you go, Simon. I want your Invest AI project, and here's the cash," right? Because if that had happened, I'm not being funny, guys, but I would have took the briefcase, right? Because that sort of thing doesn't happen. Okay. Now, if I'd sold my percentage in this project for 700 grand, you guys would be sitting here with a huge war chest. Okay. And I think genuinely this project is worth far, far more than that. Now, when somebody who is a significant venture capital business in London is flying me out to Amsterdam to meet them and to meet investors, I think it's quite a good sign. And it's not to say that that deal is done. It's not, right? The deal is on the table, and it has to now be, the contract details have to be worked out. We have to do due diligence. Anybody who's been through venture capital knows that it's quite a prolonged and complicated process. These guys want to get going quickly because what they see is, as the token price pushes on for what they're prepared to invest, their equity goes down, right? So the quicker we push on, the less of the project they get. But that said, that's not a chunk of money that comes into the project and then goes on the chart. What it is investment that we get to use to, I'll be careful what I say here, but to work with other projects that we want to work with, right? So it means that when other AI-based projects, i.e. we are an AI investment fund, and the reason these guys want to work with us is because they don't understand crypto. They don't hold any DeFi, they don't hold any crypto really. They understand obviously Bitcoin and ETH and stuff like that. I talked to them a bit about Polygon and Arbitrum and other things, right? And once you start getting into that, they start, they're like, you've lost them. So when you get an offer put to you like that, you have to, be obviously careful who you're dealing with, and the terms that comes under need to be negotiated and put into a heads of terms first, and then into a contract, and then things happen. Okay, so there are no guarantees that happens, because if it doesn't work like that, right? You don't talk about it and then suddenly someone sends you $500,000 and then you get the other bit of it 6 weeks later, blah blah blah. You've got to work all those terms out. So we are negotiating that at the moment. We hope to obviously have a war chest, right? So when we've got a war chest, a huge war chest, right? Imagine there's £500,000, right, which is whatever, $600,000 in a wallet, and we're able to go to projects and incubate them. That takes us to a whole new level straight away. Okay, it makes us one of the biggest players in the space. We don't need to go and spend money on marketing at that point, because every project that's out there says Invest AI. Go to them, they'll help you out, and then we do the KYC on them, and we do all the due diligence on them, and then we take stakes in their projects, and then we make significant project profits off of them as they grow, right? So I hope that's a bit of good news for you guys. We are moving forward, and we're moving quickly. I am, you can probably tell, I'm a little bit annoyed and a bit grumpy and tired, right? Because I got up at 4 a.m. yesterday, having worked like 3 days straight on this, with about 4 or 5 hours of sleep a night, right? So I'm actually probably going to try and get a bit of sleep tonight and get my head down. And I have put a proposal in writing today to that business. Okay, they want to move quickly. They are based in London. I'm not going to give the name out. I've done my checks on them, and when I asked the question, right, this is one of the questions I asked them. I said, so how come us? What, and what do you know about us? And the guy said to me, because he originally contacted me through LinkedIn, and the guy said to me, we have used our advisors to do some very detailed research on you personally, Simon, and we've wanted to get into this space for a very long time. We have significant investors who have, well, they have $280 million under management. This initial investment, and I just used the word initial, is just a little drop in the ocean for them, right? But it's speculative, and these are the type of people that want to, that they want to come in this space. They see, like, they're traditional finance, right? Traditional finance, if somebody's got $5 million and they're getting 8% a year on it, you're doing all right, right? We're talking about, they see projects going 100x and they think that's like almost impossible, but it's not in this space. So if we're deploying significant capital across AI projects in this space, that's why we're here, right? That's exactly why we're here. I'll now get a message every other day, is money in, bro? Right? No, it's not in yet. It doesn't work like that. But we've just set ourselves up for positioning this business, and it is a business, for for the biggest piece of success, for the biggest growth you're ever going to see, because other projects that come in and want to work with Invest AI, we will be able to fund them. We will be able to support them, and more importantly, when we do that, think what happens. Their communities come to us, our community goes to them, we all work together, and we grow all of these projects, the good ones, right? And that's crucial, the good projects that are out there. I've already been approached by several really exciting projects, and then the conversation goes around the subject as, look, if we can help you, can we do an AMA with you? Can you come into our space? Can we come into yours? Can we cross-pollinate communities and help both tokens grow for the long term, right? And with good utility. So for those of you, maybe there's some people here that it's the first time you've listened to me speak, and the revenue streams for this project are several. The main one being obviously where we invest in other projects and we take small profits, we nibble as we go along with the agreement of those projects. I've got investors in this project who came in and I've seen people buy like 1%. Somebody bought 1% of the project yesterday. Well, if we take this to where it can go and that person doesn't sell, that could be $1 million for all you know, right? For someone having invested a couple of thousand. And that's the sort of thing, that's the sort of growth that these guys are looking at. The crucial point is, they don't know anybody in the space they can trust. And they've looked at me personally, right? They've looked at me and Andy, and they've seen somebody who's prepared to put their face on a project, but also, and no disrespect to people, if you're listening and you're in your 20s, I've just turned 50, so's Andy, and we've been in the business for a very long time, and I've been in crypto pretty much since the start of it, and I was in the very start of Web 2 as well. So I'm used to running decent sized businesses. I've never run $100 million business yet, which is what I want to make this into. And we've had a great start, right? I will be buying up the rest of this project. Anybody who wants to sell, you crack on, because I will be buying it, because I know what's happening, okay? I suggest, without investment advice, you turn up often, listen to what we've got to say, and we start all as a group doing some research into projects that, if there's interesting projects out there that you think are good, bring them, right? Show us those projects, and we will say to those projects, we'd love to work with you, providing we like it. And I'm sure, if they're decent projects, we will. And there's plenty of them out there. We just want to stay away from, the rug pulls and the people are dishonest, and the ones that, like, I can introduce now. If a good project comes to me, I can bring venture capital to them. Like, why wouldn't people want to fast forward their projects and end up on a centralized exchange and take it to that next level? Okay, so that's what we will be able to facilitate and make happen for loads and loads of projects in the space, and that's where we want to be. So I'll open the floor up. Andy, have you got anything you want to add first before I open the questions up?
Well, that's all fine, Simon. I've not a lot to add to this. I have got things I would add, but I'm not going to. I think for the moment that's more than we just say.
Yeah, okay. But let's just be mindful that it's not going to happen in the next 24 hours, right? It's going to take a little bit of, there's going to be a backward and forth, right? It's not going to be suddenly I go, right, here's a wallet with $500,000 in it, and here we go, right? And we won't be that money, bearing in mind, that money will not be ours, right? So just to clarify, it's not somebody going, here, just have £500,000 and crack on and then give us back some in 6 months' time. That's not how this works. This is, we become an investment fund and vehicle for in real world money. So that money comes into the space, and this is just a test, really. I believe it's I think they look at us and say, well, actually we found somebody that we think we can trust, right? And we haven't built any trust yet, because for all they know, and they've done a lot of research, right, I wouldn't have got a meeting and taken out to Amsterdam, although it's not overly expensive for them, right? But they're not going to do that with somebody they think's going to, pump and dump on them or walk away with their money, right? We would be custodians of a wallet where we're there to generate profit and understand, help people who are not in the space understand what they are investing in. And that's quite a big leap, to be fair, right? But they see the opportunity of, if you take a micro cap and somebody's investing 5 or 10k in it, they could quite easily walk away with maybe 100, right? And that's not a difficult, circle to square, if you see what I'm saying. But we would, as a project, take a percentage, again, yet to be agreed, from those profits, and then reinvest that back into our own project, into marketing and into the token, buying back the token, obviously raising the floor. So, right, anybody got any questions? And please, let's just, if you want to put your hand up, are people struggling? Is it not letting you put your hand up?
Simon, Tom has a question.
Yeah.
He said, are you only looking for new projects?
No. But look, clearly, if there's a project that's, let's say that's something that's at like 50 million market cap and the chart is going sideways, and somebody's saying to us, well, we need 100k, why do you need it? Because if you've built your project to a certain level, you're not suddenly going to double it overnight unless there's a significant announcement coming, and we would need to be bought into that to take an event, to take an investment, right? Clearly, the micro cap and low cap part of the market is where the money is to be made. Other than, for example, day trading or arbitraging the bigger ones, okay? But I've got another tool that I'm going to introduce to the community, and the platinum private sale people will get access to that, right? So don't think that you're not going to get looked after. And I know, probably the other, well, not the other project, the joke project ended up leaving some people with a bad taste in their mouth, right? A lot of that was without our control, and obviously the market, right? We're hoping, right? Here's a word, hope, right? We're all sat here hoping that the bull market comes, aren't we? Right? At the moment, there's a lot of movement on Sol, and we're seeing a lot of those projects pump, and a lot of those are horrible, dirty meme plays, right? Where you're going to get rugged at least 9 times out of 10. Hopefully, we see a lot of movement come back onto ETH, and look, this is where we need to be really to get to a centralized exchange, right? And if we then move to an exchange offering, all you guys will be positioned in a very, very good place, right? Yeah, look, I'm not going to repeat. I will try not to repeat what I said earlier. Okay, if people got private, we can jump into we have a group called the Commission, right? And we can jump into the Commission after this, and anybody in there can talk to me about any issues they've got. But hopefully, I'm not going to recover what I've covered in this meeting, okay? Because this is public. It's going to be recorded, will be played back, or played backable, repeatable, whatever you want to say. Can we please all, when you get a chance, go to the YouTube channel and watch that first video again, the one that's an hour long, because we're trying to head towards getting the channel monetized first. So once we get the channel monetized, obviously we can start producing more content, and we will start to bring more projects in, and that's where we can start then, for example, promoting other projects and getting them hundreds of thousands of views, which is what we want to do, and that that's significant benefit to other projects. Anybody else got a question? Please come off silent if you have, or if anyone's put it. Oh, Banshee, why is there no marketing? Okay, are you on the? If you're on the voice, Banshee, come off silent and ask me the question. What do you think we're doing here? Right, this is the one question, or one of the questions, that really annoys me. So, yeah, and you, because what people think is, correct me if I'm wrong, right? And if you don't believe what I'm about to say, put it in the chat and tell me that I'm wrong, okay? People think, one, that there is an unlimited amount of money in a project to be able to do marketing every single day, okay? So I could spend all the marketing wallet in a day quite easily. Would we have then any money to spend on marketing? No. Would it bring lots of new holders? Possibly. If I told you what was happening ahead of time, would you buy right now, and then when the chart pumps? So if I told you, for example, we're going to get a shout out on Caesar's calls, and it's coming in an hour, I can get the candles to move, okay? And then some of those people that are listening and pay attention will then sell. That results in money coming out of all of your pockets, because liquidity gets drained from the project, okay? What we need is steady and slow growth, right? If you're expecting this project to go 100x in the next 2 weeks, you're going to be sadly disappointed, okay? As we spend money on marketing, and as we get ourselves in the right place, for example, when I put out a tweet that says we are now listed on CoinMarketCap, does that bring more people into the project? Yes. When we're listed on CoinGecko, when we're listed on others, when we get significant influencers to talk about the project, will that bring more growth? Yes, it will, right? If I do all of those things in a day, the project will go crazy, and it'll be like a relaunch, as in it'll be like when it launched, it'll go up 10, 15x, and then everyone will sell again, right? So people who ask me why no marketing are people who want to probably dump their tokens. So either you're here for as a holder for a long-term project where we are going to grow this to a significant level with all the plans that we have and the investment that's coming, or you don't believe that, right? But if, when you say when marketing, it just means, why have you not pumped the chart up 20% today? That's what you should really type.
And also, may I add, people who ask that question, do you have any clue how much it actually costs of various forms of marketing? Probably not. And this is coming from somebody who's been responsible for $100 million accounts. So please, don't insult my intelligence around it. Influencers cost anywhere of $10, $20, $30, $40, $50,000 minimum, some $250,000. Now you start putting all that together, you need a marketing budget of at least $1 million. People don't understand, they haven't got a clue. If you start to put a proper marketing budget together, don't get me wrong, I would love to have one because I've run them before. You need probably 10 to 20 mil to make it a massive project. And that does not happen within 2-day launch. And anybody who thinks otherwise, you're cuckoo. I'm sorry, publicly I'm stating it. You're watching too many charts on too many shitcoins and you're not being real. And I've said it. And I am sick and tired of hearing it. And if somebody doesn't like the project because I've said that, tough, do one. Because I'm sick and tired of it.
Calm down. Calm down, Dad. Calm down, all right?
Just leave a private DM. I'll send you my CV if I need to.
when marketing, yeah, look, someone's put up a red card. You've just got sent off. You just got sent off by Fool's Gold, yeah. But
The thing is, we work crazy hours on this as well. As we do with the other projects, we put a lot of work in. And when we get some of the questions, Simon and I are knackered at the minute, and we probably are a little bit grumpy and a little bit like, right, come on, give us a bit of support, folks.
But is marketing, does it count flying to Amsterdam to go and meet somebody who wants to give me $890,000?
In the traditional sense, Simon, from the world we are, yes.
Right,
Absolutely
okay.
right. And so all those networking conversations, that's all marketing as well. All of those things are marketing.
So look,
I have a question.
yeah, of course, go ahead.
Yeah, so basically, what I understood is, I just want to ask you for next 1 month. I understand you have a discussion with one venture capitalist. So what would be the goal? Like, would like to spend more time on doing the research work on the new project, approaching them, or still, you will spend more time on talking to new venture capitalists? So like, how will you allocate your time on these two things simultaneously?
So in terms of venture capital, that's a conversation that happens on an ongoing basis. Like somebody will ping me an email saying, right, we've read through your document, this point, and this point, we prefer to do this, and it probably takes me half an hour, right, just to respond, and it goes backwards and forwards like a game of table tennis until you come to an agreement which you can all sign, right? There's no guarantee that you get to a point where both parties agree to what the deal is. We're more than halfway down the road when you've got heads of terms being prepared. Okay, so you get heads of terms, and then if in the meantime, if anybody else is listening, right, if somebody's crept in here and you happen to be a venture capital firm and you want to get involved, DM me, because there is room for multiple investments in this project. Of course there is, right? And as the project grows, those people will want to buy into the project. Now, for example, one of the terms that's in the agreement that I've put across, if somebody wants to drop 50k on the chart, they can't do that in one go. Because guess what happens, right? If somebody went in and bought whatever it is, let's say 20 ETH, right now, what would happen? You tell me, right? Because I know exactly what will happen is majority of people will go, wow. And then there'll be no FOMO, because people will go, well, I'm just going to sell. And then when it dips, I'll buy back in. So if you watch charts, you'll understand exactly how a project needs to grow and establish floors, right? So if somebody comes along and wants to drop 50k in a chart, then they get to buy in, and they buy in across 3, 4, 5 weeks. And at that point, at the end of that period, they end up with, let's say they ended up with, I'm guessing now, right? So don't hold me to these numbers, but let's say somebody ended up with 10% of the project. The terms that I have put in that agreement means that after they've bought all their tokens, i.e. they're not allowed to sell any during that period, after they've purchased them all, let's say they end up with 10% of the project, what has to happen then is, the agreement says, they will have to go and lock those tokens into team finance, and they can then release them 1% at 1% a month, for example, right? That's what I've proposed. Now they might come back and say, well, we want to actually release them at 2% a month. Now, those type of agreements are not going to be made public, because if you guys, like, I'm telling you how it works, and to protect the project, I will make them vest those tokens. So they will one, come and buy them during a period, and two, they will then lock them up in a team wallet, which is public, so you can see that, right? And you can see when that vesting schedule comes out. But you don't know, and I don't know, if they then say, well, every time the wallet opens, they want to just dump the chunk. They might not, and I hope they don't, because they're hopefully going to look at the project and go, wow, it's already gone 30x from where we got in, and now it's possibly, you know, we've got all these other anyway, it gets very complicated. But genuinely everything we do, we are doing for the good of the project and protect our holders and investors. Like, not to put too fine a point on it, if we wanted to make the most money out of this project personally as possible, I would have split up a ton of tokens into tons of different wallets, and every time the chart goes up, I'd be selling. Which I can tell you, hand on heart, I have not sold a token in this project at all, right? Why would I? I have actually been buying tokens on my own chart, right? So anyway, like, yes, I might wait for a dip before I get in and buy a few more, but I buy my own project. Should I have to do that? Probably not, right? A lot of projects would say, keep yourself a big chunk in the background, but then holders will go, oh, but project owner owns 30%, he can dump at any time. We can't do that, because we, as a team, we've got tokens in a lock. There are some before anyone says it, there are some unlocked tokens, because projects like venture capital will come to us and say, we want to give you 50k, 100k. We might have a huge influencer come to us and say, right, we're a huge project. Now, this next piece is not fact, but if, let's say, one of the biggest AI projects came to us, right, and let's say it is a $50-100 million market cap project, and they said, Simon, we want to work with Invest AI, because we think you're a really good project, and we want to get exposure in your YouTube channel when we've built that channel out a bit more. At that point, we would be saying, right, okay, what's it going to cost us as a project to get into your holders, right? For you to recommend that your holders come to us, like a project that's got thousands of holders, and telling them that they're working in partnership with us. That's the sort of, that is marketing, right? Just going out to a calls group and going, let's go and do an AMA, what happens there is you spend probably, like, for one of the decent calls groups, it's a couple of $1,000s, okay? I think you'll find at the moment we have about 7 ETH in our marketing wallet. I'm guessing, again, might not be exactly that, but that's not a lot to go out and say, you know, we're going to go to Caesars, right? Caesars calls, great group, right? Lot of big people in the group, lot of whales, right? Do we necessarily want a load of those type of people in the project like that at the moment? answer probably no, because the more of that type of person that comes in, yes, you will see the chart pump, right, and you will see the candles go green and grow, right, and then you're going to be sat there going, well, should I sell? And then you're going to see a huge whale sell, right, and you're going to see, oh, and while I'm covering that, you will see that there is a 1% max transfer on the contract, okay? Because somebody said to me, you've stopped me. Somebody tried to sell more than 1%, and they said, oh, it's a honeypot. Well, clearly it's not, okay? So you can buy and sell, right? But I think it was throwing up a warning on Dex Tools to say that it was a honeypot at some point, because there was a limit on the number of token transfers, okay? So thanks, Jaden, if you've come in and aped into the project. I appreciate it. And if you've got other projects where you can see that there's this, the value for me in you guys is introducing us to other projects, right, that we can invest in, we can help them. So if somebody comes to me and says, look, how can you help me, Simon? I can give them massive exposure, right? I can get them, like if somebody gave me $5,000, I can get you 1 million views on YouTube. Should I as a project owner go and spend $5,000 out of the marketing wallet now and get us 1 million views on YouTube on our video? Difficult question, that. Probably no at the moment, because that would take a huge chunk out of the wallet and it would be a risk, okay? Should I wait till the channel is monetized and we can prove that we've ranked videos already at the top of YouTube? Yes, but that's not going to happen tomorrow or in the next 5 minutes for someone who goes, when will be video number 1, please? Anyway. So look, we will so what's that? Fucking Chad. Who's put that? Scammers do better visuals than legit projects. Okay. Yeah, I've kicked you. Who's Jeff Bezos? That's a good name. But yeah, look, I hope it is Jeff Bezos. Yeah, that's his hidden name, isn't it? Did anybody see what Elon posted today about? You better go and watch it. Go and look at his Twitter and see if you see what I see. But I'm not going to comment in here. Yeah, investing in people is the best strategy. And to be fair, Jaden, that is why venture capitalists have come and found me, because you show me, other than the huge people in this space like Charles Hodgkinson and Vitalik and all these other people, right, that are already running huge projects. Show me somebody who is openly opening new tokens with their face on it and has the business experience that Andy and I have. Okay, so hey, let's go and get another all-time high, right? Let's push this on. Let's get to 400k.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah.
How are you doing?
Good to have you on.
I appreciate the work. I appreciate the work you guys are doing here. And yeah, as I said, investing in people is better than investing in a project. And I mean, you guys seem to be good people and passionate people. So I'm in, man.
Well, look,
yeah. Guys, and I'm ready to help you guys if you need anything.
Well, please do. Yeah, if you're a member of, I think, are you on Coles?
Or?
You're a part of another project, are you?
I mean, I've been working with various projects in the past 3 years, so.
So if there's other introductions you can make, and this goes for everybody who's listening, go out and do a little bit for us, right? If you can find something and get people to come, and be that project owners that come to talk to us, or it's purely just helping out by retweeting, making conversations with other inside other groups. I put a call out earlier for people to come to me if they want to help work on our X account, right? So Andy and I will get stretched, and it's not to say that we won't be able to put out a couple of tweets a day, but I could really do with the help to keep the engagement up. And if you want to help work in the Twitter account or the X account, if you want to help us, please, do. You will have to dox to me. That's the only problem. So if you want to apply, it will be a paid position. Hey, how's that for a bit of marketing? And as the project grows and people have worked with us for a while, those people will get rewarded, right? And it's all about building up trust, relationships. Some of the people in this call have worked with us for over 3 years, so we're very grateful to them. And the majority of those people are down on their private sale at the moment, so they will be working very hard, right, to get their bags up, and they know that this is something that we're going to try and at least 10x it from here, and then establish a new floor. You're always going to get pullbacks. It's the way the space works, right? It's just about continuing to keep that chart pushing on and going in the right direction. Someone says tokenomics. I literally asked for the tokenomics and nobody can tell me what are the tokenomics. Okay. Tokenomics, 4.99% tax buy and sell. The website only shows 14% of the supply. I can't read all of it. It's got to add up to 100%, right? Yes, it does. It does add up to 100%. The remainder of it is in the liquidity pool on Uniswap, right? So when you launch a project, you put an amount of liquidity in and you add X percentage of your tokens. So I think it was about 75% of our tokens went into the liquidity pool on Uniswap. I think 37 million, might be 37.5 million. Somebody can just look it up, it's easy to find, right? And then the rest of it is 4% team tokens, 10% for future investment and marketing. We might do some marketing, you never know. I know we've got huge influencers that want to come on board, but if a huge influencer comes to me and says I want 1% of your project, they've got to do an awful lot, right? Because I've only got 4% of it. Well, I haven't even got 4% of it because there are other partners in the project, in the team. So if somebody comes along and says I want the same holding in this project as you have got, Simon, do you think I want them to do an awful lot for us? Not to put out one tweet or one call, right? We want ongoing partners. We want people that are going to really do us some good. So on-chain agent says the remaining is already available. 80% is already available, is in the liquidity pool. Yeah, correct. Okay, look, anything else anybody wants to talk about or jump on and chat with? Anyone, like I can see Mikey from Crypto Frogs is here. Might be using them, you never know. Marketing.
How's it going, guys?
Yeah, good. At what time is it there?
I just got back actually from class. It's just past noon.
Cool. So yeah, look, we are going to be doing stuff with Crypto Frogs. So hint, right? Marketing. We will be doing something with those guys. Just about timing when we do it correctly. And I'm right. Yeah, right, Mikey.
Yep.
Yeah, we just got to get that right. Make sure that it's set up properly. We get enough the right numbers of people and the right people. And he's got a really good group and a following. And let's bring some of those people into the project, right? And it's these type of AMAs that people will come and then listen to. So if you've got anyone who wants in, send them to that first AMA, that video that I did that's just over an hour long. That's the one I want people to watch for now. And that's really just, like I say, once we can get past 4,000 watch time hours, I could cheat, right? I could cheat by buying it. And if you're not aware, you can buy 4,000 watch time hours for about 120 bucks. So I could cheat, but I'd rather do it organically, because if we do it that way, it looks a lot better to YouTube, right? Don't get me wrong, there's a lot of people's channels that I have done that on, and bought the watch time hours, bought the subscribers, and gone straight into monetizing it. This channel we've got to care about a lot more, right? We need to be precious about how this channel develops and make sure it's all done to the letter of the law, and therefore, you know, YouTube then treat us as one of the valuable channels in the space. And it won't be next week or the week after that we're suddenly getting millions of views, but in a month's time, 2 months' time, I think we will. So let's just take our time on that. And yeah, appreciate posting that magic. 75% Dex LP, 4% team, 6% pre-sale, 15% marketing. Okay. So that's how it's built out. It's not, yeah, slow and steady, but there's also, you know, if someone can't wait a couple of 3 weeks for 10x, that's, well, I know some people can't, right? And I do personally day trade certain markets, right? So I day trade certain cryptos on ETH, small micro cap launches, right? So I do trade those. The people in the private sale, if you want to join me on that, I will show you, right? And a lot of those, although they turn out to be rug pulls, you can get in and get out and maybe make 2, 3, 4x. But it's whether you're interested in doing that, because it's work, right? It means you've got to actually put effort in. I guess what I'm saying, community, please help us, right? Get involved. Please help us spread the word. When new people come, get them positioned, tell them how great this project is, tell them where we're going, and as soon as we've got the bigger investor to come in, right, it will start getting dropped on the chart, and the amount I buy up for them over that period will then get split into team finance wallets and locked, and at that point you then can see that that has happened. Okay. Sam's put, I think an expert accountant knows how to calculate. Yes, so for those of you that don't know, I am a qualified accountant. It was my first job. It's what I studied at college. So I then became an accountant, ran my own business, which was really good for me as a, you know, I hated accountancy, right? I genuinely didn't like accountancy. Someone's going to say, well, why did you go and become an accountant? Because my mum was an accountant and she had a great job, and she got me hooked up with, she was a typical mum who put me into, you're going to do what I did, right? And I thought that's how it worked, right? And once I started doing the job, I actually found out that I hated it, and it was boring as, like, sitting there looking at invoices and ticking boxes and putting numbers into a spreadsheet is amazing. It's mind numbing, right? I'm sure there's worse jobs, a lot worse. But I promised my kids that I would make sure that they go and do jobs that they love, right? And luckily I ended up running one of the first computer peripheral businesses that was huge in the UK, and then this thing called Amazon came along and it sort of scuppered my plans, and they were undercutting my prices, believe it or not, once Amazon got going. So that was before Jeff got going. I could have been Jeff, you never know. I wasn't selling books, so wasn't lucky enough to do that. We all take our path. Anyway, look, this wants to be the first $100 million business I've run. I've run a $10 million business. I've worked for some $100 million businesses, but this one's ours, right? This one we can do together. We can get this to fly. Okay, so just spread the word. We're not worried that there's not tons going on every single day, and we don't have the money to go and spend, like, 2, 3, 4 ETH a day yet. We will do. Okay, so just take it steady and let's make sure we get to where we want to get to. How long have we been on, Andy? Over an hour now.
20 minutes, so I think we can bring that to a close.
Yeah, CMC and CoinGecko is next, yes, and that is happening. I could share my screen and show you that I am filling in CoinMarketCap at the moment, okay? And then we have to obviously make sure it gets fast tracked, if those of you that are here know how that happens. But again, that costs money, right? So we need to be careful and not just smash everything in one go. Bring people in, bring a bunch of new people in, bring another lot of people in, get them positioned, get them to buy, get them to understand, right? Then move up again, right? And that's how you grow the community, not in a day. Right, so I'm conscious that we've been on for so long. I'm also conscious that there are people typing into the chat rather than people speaking. I really appreciate the people who've actually spoken up. That's great. If you've got a question, that you want answering but you don't want to speak, type it into the chat now and I'll answer them. Okay, so we'll give it another 5 minutes, and if you've got a question, stick it in there. Who came out with the invest ticker? That's the best ticker. Someone said that's, I've lost that bit now, but somebody says that's the best ticker. It's a great ticker, isn't it? I wonder what Gary Gensler would say about that ticker. I did jokingly say the ticker should be not investment advice, right? But I think invest is quite a cool ticker, and it will be. You imagine? Can you imagine when that is on Binance? If it got to Binance, right? But imagine that being a ticker on Binance. No one's forgetting it, right?
Yeah, I think Jeff Bezos is not very happy man in the chat, but hey.
Is he not? What's he got? He's got his knickers in a twist.
Now that he's dancing on. This is one of the things as well, I will say. Sometimes, Simon and I won't get embroiled in some of the rantings that go on, because if we did, and I did put this into a private chat with somebody yesterday, we spend our entire lives.
Do you literally know how many messages I get every day, right, that I just can't even get time to respond to? And remember, people, right? Remember, we are cantankerous old gits, right? We have been burned and forged in the business life that has just beaten us down, right? We are now going to be the degens, and we are going to be this is the important bit. We are going to be the conduit between huge in real life money that wants to come in this space, and they're just looking for the doorway, right? They want the entry. That's us, right? Remember that, okay? That's what we want to do, okay? Did somebody say we just got a new all-time high? That's very cool if we've just done that, especially from one voice chat for an hour. Bit of marketing.
Yeah, I know. But hey, Simon, the one thing I would say, part of a lot of this as well is showing our personalities. We don't get everything right all the time.
And we're acquired tastes. Like just remember, people, right? I'm the geek coder guy who's like, I know, and I'm not going to say average looking, but remember, Andrew is like a Gerard Butler type, he's the face of, he's the pretty boy of the project. So you can be all types of shapes and sizes and genres and everything, right? But On-Chain Agent says, in the future, in an ideal world, how many projects do you envision Invest is going to be supporting, and how many would you like to support or be part of? I think a good target to start with would be to work with 10 projects, right? That's a realistic first aim. And it's not to say that we're going to stay in all the projects on a long-term basis, because once they've had some support from us and we've made an amount, we may decide to exit, or we might decide a project's not going in the direction that we, as a community, and we haven't even talked about the DAO, right? When we establish this as a foundation, you guys get the say, right? Not us. We will help you lead that, and we will shape, hopefully, the debate, right? But I want this to become, imagine a community of 100,000 people talking about AI. It's Andy and I were talking about this earlier, and this is the first project that we've run that actually everybody can get involved in, because it's going to affect everybody's life on the planet, Okay, so we can create that community. And if we create a YouTube channel where, let's say we had, and this is not blowing smoke, but let's say we had 10 million followers on YouTube, how do you think the token's doing at that point? Marketing will run itself, and it will be a self-sustaining model at that point, right? Because there will be so many people talking about it and using the token, and the revenue, I haven't even said this, the revenue that comes from a YouTube channel can be huge, right? Tens of thousands a month, hundreds. I've seen clients of ours with hundreds of thousands a month in revenue, in ads from YouTube, right? When we get to that stage, guess where the money goes? Even if only 50% of that money came back into buying tokens and 50% went into marketing, again, the project runs itself without any cost. The only way is up at that point. Okay, so it's not, I think, so I will give credit to the person who, I don't know whether he's listening and he's on here, I doubt it, but a guy called Dr. DeFi, right, a friend of mine, he's been on here, he spoke before, known him for over 3 years. We were in another project together that went from 3 cents to $18, and that was a project called Guardian. Okay, and that project was a treasury. It was on Binance Smart Chain, and it was huge, right? I sold the majority of my tokens at 42 cents, right? And I made a good profit on that. Imagine what would have happened if I'd held them. Well, I'll tell you what would have happened. If I'd held them till it got to $18, I would have been more than a millionaire. Okay, I would have had way over $1 million. But I know people who round tripped, and when I say round tripped, I mean they started out in the pre-sale and they got, one person I know got to $7 million in that project and still never sold, and they round tripped it all the way back down. And I think Guardian you can buy today, I'm guessing, at somewhere around 20-30 cents. Okay, so we're not going to round trip, we're all going to make, right? And you guys that are here are the same people that, if you look at how Guard developed, and don't get me wrong, I see how that was built, right? I see how people got involved, and this is actually, I believe, a better model. Okay, that token went from 3 cents to $18. I'll be very happy when this project gets to $1, because we'll be a $50 million market cap, right? I think at that point. Guard had 50 million tokens. Guess how many we've got? So it's not a coincidence, right? We're on a better chain. We've got a much better chance of getting to a centralized exchange. We've got a better chance of working with bigger projects purely because we're on Ethereum, right? We want to be taken seriously. Why wouldn't I be having conversations eventually with people at crypto.com, right? Why not? So let's aim for that. That's when we will be huge, right? So, oh, Tom's put hair is overrated. Yes, I am receding badly. But my dad was bald at 20, right? So I'm doing okay for myself. Did we hit a new all-time high? I hope we did.
I hope we did. There was a ripple in previously that was a little bit higher. But it's good. It's all positive. It's going in the right direction overall.
Max Four Legs says, would you have Zoom calls? Is he talking to someone else or talking to me?
I'm not sure.
I would have Zoom calls. I will talk to other projects. I will talk to other project owners. I will talk to people on Zoom if you want to dox yourself to me. I'm not doing Zoom calls with people that are on black screens. You know, you might as well just DM me if that's the case. But please, look, spread the word, right? We are early. You are so early. And yeah, Max Four Legs puts Simon. Yes, my name is Simon. I have shared my LinkedIn profile. We are visible. We're not. I think people use the phrase "dev is based." Yeah, go on.
Paul said he was trying to contact you. When you said, "Oh, is it me you want to have a Zoom call with?" and then he put Simon, so I think that's where he's answered that.
Right. What he wants to have a Zoom call with me.
Yeah, you said, do you mean me? And he's put Simon, meaning yes, he means you.
Is this a game of how to confuse me? Is it like if someone wants
Said,
if
do
some
you do Zoom calls? And he said, are you asking me? And then, or somebody else? And he put Simon, meaning he's asking you.
Oh, it might be. Yeah. I'll have a Zoom with someone as long as it's got an outcome planned for it. I'm not going to just have a Zoom call with someone to talk about the weather, right? But if somebody who's got an idea, or they've got something that ideally another project that they want us to get involved in and work with, yeah, absolutely love to have a Zoom call. I have got meetings coming up with other projects already that are huge projects, right? Compared to us, like ones with $5-10 million market caps and thousands of holders, and those projects we want to work with them, right? So let's do that. Right, we've been on long enough, hour and a half. Let's just try and digest some of that information, okay? If anyone in the commission wants me to jump on, I will do for 10 or 15 minutes now, okay? I'm sure Andy will as well, right? But let's just, as I say, digest what we've said today, spread the word, right? If you've got projects where you can, groups where you can shill this, please do. And Mr. Noob says recap the VC. Yeah, a quick recap is good. Yes, I'll post this voice chat on. It is recording, just checking, yes, and it is recording my voice. I will post it on YouTube later for people, so you can share it to people. Quick recap. Most importantly, I went to Amsterdam yesterday and met a venture capital firm from London, and we are putting together heads of terms. So they are looking to possibly invest £700,000 in the project, and that would be an initial investment. We have to come to an agreement, okay? But the negotiation over that has started, and that has started in writing, okay? I was asked for that this morning. I've spent probably 2 or 3 hours drawing that potential agreement up. I've sent it over to them. I'm waiting for a response, okay? Other parts of this VC, there are things in here about pre-salers. There's marketing discussed. I think if people want to really watch it all, you can watch it on. What I do on YouTube is I'll just stick YouTube on and stick it on 1.5 times speed, and then you get me talking like this, and it's a bit too quick, but you can still digest it, right? So please do that. More importantly, we've had a lot of people listen, right? We've had 37 people in here right now at the moment. When I post it and I tweet about it, please, all of you, raid the tweet, right? That's really important. If that's all you do for this project, do something. Just do a little something, right? If you want to cash in your bag, help us, right? And Tom says YouTube listens build the project. Yes, it absolutely does. Please don't go to YouTube, press play, and 2 minutes in, close it, right? If you're going to press play on it, press it and just leave it running, even if you're not listening to it, or just listen to it like it's a podcast, right? But let it run through. And then the other thing you can do is obviously comment on it. I hope you're all subscribing to the channel and liking the stuff as we put it out, okay? So yeah, Tom says you're going to have to multitask, right? But as we grow, those of you that are here and turning up and you want to work in the project, please let me know, right? We are going to need a huge team as we go forwards, right? And one thing that I do see I saw a project a couple of weeks ago. The dev took a massive chunk and then handed the project over to the community, right? And what does that look like? But that project has gone on to another all-time high. This project is the community, and you guys will have the say, right? And you are early, so let's just smash it, right? No reason why we cannot have one of the biggest projects in the world, right? So, and it's not boasting, it's just we genuinely want to say this is a good thing, and why wouldn't you be part of it? So let's wrap this one up, and I'll get this posted onto YouTube. Let's do some good things together, people, and we'll probably talk to you again tomorrow. All right, see you later, guys.